Thank you very much, Mickey. A new police chief has been in charge of the city of Hoover since December 1st. A new mayor, former chief Nick Durzis, picked Clay Morris, who was formerly the chief of police in Pell City. Hoover Police Chief Clay Morris joins us now in studio to talk about his plans for policing the city of Hoover. Great to have you with us this morning.
Thank you, Mike. It's great to be here. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're well aware. I mean, obviously Hoover, it's spread out over a wide area.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm sure it presents some challenges for you. Talk about addressing some of those in terms of your plan for policing.
Sure. And look, thank you again for having me. And look, it's just a privilege to lead the men and women of the Hoover Police Department. And one of the things we look at moving forward, right, is leveraging our technology. Hoover's been known throughout the years and decades as being a leader in law enforcement innovation. And they're doing that with technology. They currently have a drone as a first responder program. We look to increase that program. It's literally when we get a call, we have pilots there at City Hall in the drone room, and they'll launch the drone, and they can be on scene within minutes, well before a police car or a fire truck or ambulance can arrive at any scene.
Mm-hmm.
And that situational awareness is invaluable to our officers. So if you think about expanding right east and west,
right.
So the east side over on 280 and then far west where Hoover's expanding, we need to put those drones in those places to provide quicker coverage for those areas, and we intend to do that soon.
This is obviously not your first rodeo, but is it kind of like similar to a new coach coming in where you got to get those players to buy in? How do you approach getting those officers to buy in to maybe what might be different strategies from your longtime predecessor?
Sure. So, and I've said this many times before, look, the mayor was chief there over 20 years. That's unheard of. That's unheard of around the country. And as I've started that transition, look, I knew the department was going to be nervous. They haven't had change. Some of those people have never had another chief. And so the first week, literally the first day on the job, I met with all the patrol shifts. I went to their shift, just kind of give them my vision, told them what I wanted the police department to continue our standard of excellence that the mayor instilled for all those decades. And as I worked through the patrol divisions, they were first because that's our largest division, the most important, right? Those are the first responders. Those are the people we see every day. Then I started meeting with each individual unit throughout the department and kind of shared my vision with them, had questions, asked them if they had any questions of me. And actually this week I've started doing individual meetings with each officer. Look, that's going to take them there. I've got staff of 240 or so people. That'll take a while, but it's important for those guys and gals to realize that they've got buy-in. They've got say. I want to hear their ideas. And look, continuing that culture of excellence, that's priority number one.
Now, you had a long career with the Drug Enforcement Agency.
Yes,
how do you want your officers to approach enforcing those laws related to that?
So obviously, right, with my background in drug enforcement, that is critically important, right? Hoover is no different than any other size city in the country, right? We're a consumer suburb of drugs, right? Does that mean we have an extraordinary drug problem? No, it doesn't. But society as a whole has an issue with drug use, right? People always ask me when DEA, well, the war on drugs is a failure. And I would say, well, yes, but if we didn't do something right, supply can't go unchecked. But I also ask people, well, what about our war on addiction? Right, because addiction is a disease, and as long as we have a disease there's people going to try to feed that disease. Drug trafficking is truly a business model. It's supply and demand. If there's no demand, there won't be a supply. So we will certainly attack the supply side in Hoover to keep our residents safe.
As we wrap up here, as you know, community relationships have become so important to law enforcement agencies, and sometimes those have been challenged in recent years. That's certainly been the case in Hoover. So what do you think is the best approach to improving that trust?
Transparency, right? Being forthright, honest, and upfront with the community. Building relationships with the community. At the end of the day, our job is about relationships. Yeah. And we're going to continue to build on what the mayor started and the excellence that Hoover's had over the decades. We will absolutely be out in the community, and we will partner with them.
All right, that is the new Hoover Police Chief, Clay Morris, spending a little time with us. Yes. We appreciate it, and best of luck in your endeavors.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, JJ, standing by.